crashing Willie's garage.
Ha!
Hello, Rhondas!
Rhondas.
Welcome to Willie's Garage, the Alf fan show. But only one of us is a fan. That's me. I'm Nick. I've been watching Alf since I was a kid, and George is watching the series for the first time. And we've seen some good episodes. We've seen some unmemorable episodes. And I thought today's was pretty good. We'll get into it, but first, I wanted to talk about this. I am getting excited for the summer. I'm hoping to get vaccinated in May, and excited to maybe go out and about again and get out of the house. And when I think summer, I think theme parks. And I found out that there was a ride in Germany at the Warner Brothers had its own theme park the way Universal does here. And they had a Gremlins ride that closed in 2001. But Elf is so huge in Germany. We've talked about this, how the voice actor of Elf had albums out in Germany with his raspy, gravelly Elf voice. And so they put Elf in this Gremlins attraction. And there's really, no record of it. They demolished it, which is just heartbreaking. But somebody on YouTube recorded it, and it starts off with a video, and then you'd get on a tram car and it would take you through animatronics. So here's a little bit of that lost Alf Gremlins theme park attraction.
Wir zur Live-Fernsehaufzeichnung von Alf.
It's all in German.
Fertig zum Dreh? Ruhe bitte. Kamera 2. Ton ab. Und Action.
Zeit für einen kleinen Imbiss. Komm, Pussy, 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 Pussy. Komm schon, Onkel Alf wird dir doch nicht wehtun. Es wird Zeit, dass sich dein Schicksal erfüllt. Als mein Abendessen. Hol den Kammerjäger!
It's a crossover I never knew I wanted. I think those are the Gremlins.
Schnell, alles raus aus dem Studio. Hier wimmelt es nur so von Gremlins.
Like that animatronic exists, probably decaying in a
Das
warehouse.
Filmlager in Sicherheit. Bitte berührt die Filme nicht. Es sind die letzten Originalkopien von 6000 Warner Brothers Kinofilmen. Bist du? Hol mich hier raus! Mach mich nicht fertig!
And that was it. Then you'd get up and you'd be ruined for any other attraction after that one. So
Well, I'm sorry it's defunct, but at least you have blueprints now for your mausoleum.
exactly. I know. People will get in a tram, the Gremlins will take over, and Alf will be there. It's going to be incredible. If I could go back in time to any, some people would go to like Woodstock in the 60s. Some people would go kill Hitler. I would go back to that Warner Brothers in maybe the late 90s in Germany and check out that ride. It looked incredible. Animatronic Elf. I mean, I do have an animatronic Elf puppet or doll now that Carl Stitz gave me, but it's not the
You're
same.
halfway there.
All right, how about a Melmac recap?
Melmac recap. Melmac recap. Melmac.
This episode was called The Gambler, and it aired in April. This is somewhat about gambling addiction in a way. The Tanners are preparing a garage sale because they need some money for their house payments. And Alf at the beginning of this is learning about human finances and what the various terms are. So let's take a look.
So you understand what a balloon payment is?
Yeah.
And you know what a garage sale is?
Yeah.
Good.
Now can you explain secular humanism again?
No.
Hey, you're not selling that, are you?
I'm afraid so.
I like the little details we get about Willie, like that he builds model ships. This one's called the Nina.
Too bad. Be a great bottle if it weren't for the ship stuck in it.
It's a Nina.
Well, sorry. On Melmac, we didn't name our bottles.
couple things I like about that clip. When people, like I was recently on a show called Beer and Board Games, and they noticed the Alf sign behind me, and they said, well, what is it about Alf? Like there's a lot of shows like Out of This World and Small Wonder and like these sort of gimmicky shows, but what is it about Alf that stood, made it stand apart? And I would point to that clip where Alf mentions the idea of secular humanism in 1987. Which I thought was like, you could tell there's something smarter going on behind the scenes with the writers, and they're able to slip in weird non sequiturs like that.
Right, and for the viewer that has no idea what that is, it's funny because it's supposed to be something they don't know. But for the few young Nick Pruers in the audience, you're communing with the writers. You're saying we're better sort of than what's going on right now.
I guess so. Yeah.
I didn't mean to say it in a pejorative way, but I mean it's sort of like it's sort of you talking to the writers get to talk to a certain part of the audience.
Yeah, it's like one for me, one for you. There's jokes for the adults in the room as well as the kids, and so the episode gets off to a weird start. Ann Mira's back as Lynn, as Kate's mother, and she's a big fan of horse racing, and she introduces Alf to the idea of having a bookie, and her bookie is named Nick the Fish Mintz. And so Alf places a big bet on the phone trying to raise money for the Tanner's house payment. And he keeps making money, decides to let it ride, and he ends up losing $6,000 and he can't pay it. So he's trying to find stuff in Willie's garage that, I guess from his spaceship, to maybe pawn off or sell at the garage sale to get him out of the hole.
All right. I was hoping I wouldn't have to part with this, but here it is. My collection of Booyah baseball cards.
Now that Topps would actually make Booyah baseball cards. We got sent some, so that's the introduction, I think, of Booyah baseball cards.
Yeah.
What's Booyah baseball?
What do you think about Brian's shirt here?
I could see you wearing it.
Maroon V-neck ringer with a blue and a white stripe on the sleeves.
Yeah.
What's Booyah baseball?
It's like regular baseball, only you throw fish part.
Oh, look at this. I just noticed that there's fuzzy dice, but there's also the X-ray specs that he wore a few episodes ago on the table.
Wow.
Props department had some fun with that.
Props to them.
Which parts?
What difference does it make? How much will you give me for this?
Nothing.
Wait! Don't answer yet. What if I threw in an attractive 12-piece set of cookware? Now what would you pay?
$3.
Sold.
Alf, I'm not buying that.
We had a deal!
I didn't mean I'd buy it. I just thought you wanted to know what it was worth.
Do you think Lynn's sweatshirt has a fake collar on it, or do you think that's actually a shirt underneath it?
I think it's probably fake because of the hot lights.
I would guess so too, and that it matches the whatever university logo is on it.
Right. Do you think it's a real university, or
can we make out what that is? State University.
Yeah, it's.
I'm guessing it's
in
Southern California. Yeah, it's like an alma mater.
Yeah.
And it's probably in California because that's where the show is set.
Buy it. I just thought you wanted to know what it was worth.
You're right. I did. Sorry. Do you really need to go to college?
The bookie shows up to collect his payment, and Alf, meanwhile, at the garage sale, has priced everything at least $2,500 and up for things like a lamp. And George, you pointed out that this is like the Price Master art film that we've shown on VCR Party before.
Yes. I don't have a clip ready of it.
No, you don't. Don't need one, but go to
Great.
VCR Party.
Yeah. So no, the Price Master is a. I don't know. It's you could look at it as comedy, you could look at it as performance art. It seems to be a normal garage sale, except there's a stage, there's a man in a very strange costume. There's strange music playing, and he's speaking into a microphone. And when you try to purchase something, you must approach this man, and his prices are insane, and not in the Crazy Eddie Lowe sense. They're in the comically exaggerated sense.
Yes. So how much for this blow dryer? $5? $5,000, and then
Yes.
he actually barters. He goes up. So then next
Yeah.
time it's $5 million, and
Yeah, so Google
they
the
don't
Price
sell
Master
anything.
is what
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying.
Price Master is basically, this was a proto Price Master, but the bookie shows up, and he's somebody. If you're around our age, you may recognize him from other sitcoms and other commercials from the era.
Alf, you sound different in person. You got a cold too?
No.
I've been sick for a month. Been taking everything, nothing works.
Have you tried lemon juice and honey?
You know, my wife suggested that, but I can't digest citrus.
I like that shirt. I would wear that shirt too, actually.
You could try the honey without the lemon.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that. So, where's my money?
Your money?
Come on, Alf. Just give me the $6,000 so I can go home and use the vaporizer.
$6,000?
You think I placed a bet with you, and now I owe you $6,000?
Yeah, that's the general idea.
All right, let's talk about him. It's David Leisure.
Yes, if you were a TV viewer in the 80s, you definitely were familiar with this commercial.
The Isuzu Pup. So incredible, a Supreme Court justice is here to verify our claims. Each Isuzu pickup is built tough, so you can drive it forever. And so inexpensive, you can buy one with your spare change. And now, with generous factory incentives, buy one and you'll get one free. You have our word on it.
Now, for a limited time, you really can save hundreds of dollars at participating Isuzu dealers.
Oh, wow. He doesn't appear at the end. I thought he'd come back. But that character, the liar, appeared in innumerable commercials, but all of them had him talking in a smarmy way. Smarmy? And what would appear, he would say something absurd, and then below it the text would say, he's lying. And that was parodied in lots of other commercials, TV shows, and print ads. I think it made its way into political ads too, that were parodying that. But David Leisure,
kind of a "Where's the beef" sort
late
thing, where it
80s
just was in the cultural lexicon for a while.
Yes,
Joe Isuzu.
That was probably his highest profile role, although many people remember him from Airplane, which was his first role as a Hare Krishna. And this is not problematic because he was playing a Caucasian convert to
and I know him from Empty Nest too.
Yes, he is. Here he is. I believe he was a. He worked on a ship, I think, like a cruise line for a cruise line. I didn't really watch that show, but he's still today. Whoa. Today working, so he's.
There he is.
Yeah. But I think he was somebody who was always like when you would see him somewhere. He appeared in lots of other sitcoms and TV shows, but you know him the minute you see him. You know his voice.
Yeah. And the way this episode ends is that the set decorator shows up. I guess they're in California. Maybe there's a set decorator, and they see Alf's spaceship out there amongst the garage sale items, and they're making a film called Jupiter Guys. He wants to rent it for a week. Willie says, "How about $6,000?" They say, "Okay." So they pay off Alf's debt to the bookie. The most memorable part, and George, you pointed this out, was that Alf has a lot of phone calls with the bookie, and the bookie's name is Nick. And the goal of this show is to get Alf on the show. When we do that, we can finally end this. But I'm not hopeful. I haven't heard back from Paul Fusco or from any of the channels. So I thought maybe I could make some of that dream come true by intercutting Alf's phone calls with Nick, with me reacting, and it would sort of feel like Alf was on the show. So here's that.
Nick! Alf!
Alf? Is that you? We've been trying to get you on Willie's garage for months now.
What?
Or I could come to you. Where are you, Alf?
No, there's no reason for you to come over here.
I'm leaving right now, Alf. I'll be right there.
Hello.
And I had the credits at the end. So that was my historic phone call with Alf.
Well, that is immediately my favorite episode of Alf.
It was mine too. And that could happen in real life. So Paul Fusco or Alf, if you are watching, please come on the show. Let's make that a reality. It can be over Zoom. that's the world we're living in. So
Yeah, I
let's
wouldn't
make
go
it
over to
happen.
Nick's house
No,
because you
don't
might
come over
end
here.
up an exhibit in his bedroom.
You'll be in my IKEA bag of elf crap. So, well, and speaking of that, let's get into elf crap.
Ba-da-dum, da-dum, 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 dum, elf crap.
The well has not run dry of elf crap yet, and we're 22 episodes into this. What have you got, George?
Well, I found something that describes itself as rare. Well, the person who owns it describes it as rare. It's an Alf golf ball, a Titleist, of course, and it says "Smack Me," which I don't feel like is something Alf was not into, like BDSM
S&M?
references. Yeah, so I don't know, but I think that should be in your IKEA bag of Alf crap.
I should put that in there. That's pretty great. Where'd you see that?
On eBay, of course.
On eBay, okay. I've got some more Alf stuff. First of all, this was sent in by Chelsea. I don't know if you can see this. Chelsea is a regular at a place called Eyesore Cinema in Toronto, and Adam Riot at the Movies in Toronto actually sent this in with a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, you can see that this is handmade.
Wow.
We've got some trim here on the side of the bag, and it looks like it might be from the Alf sets of sheets and pillowcases that are behind me. It's like sort of same Alf pose, and you can see part of the Alf lettering in there. But this is a fine tote that I'm going to be using from here on out. So Chelsea and Adam in Toronto, thank you for sending that in. And of course, you can send in your Alf crap at the address below, or email me at nick@foundfootagefest.com.
And any Alf bag that's sent to Nick will be soon filled with more Alf crap.
That's right. I'm actually putting something in it right now. I'm going to be putting in the Alf vacuum cleaner cover. This is going to be stored now in Chelsea's Alf tote. So thank you very much.
Beautiful and functional.
It is. All right. What do you got, George?
Well, in my ongoing series of Alf cakes, here's an interesting Alf cake. How you doing,
Lucky?
I no longer remember which cakes have been shown before, but I'm pretty. I don't or are in the opening credits for Alf cakes if there is one. Yeah,
I don't think I have seen this one before, but I like the color scheme. I don't like how shiny Alf is. He doesn't look edible.
It's a wet Alf, a Criscoed up Alf.
But I tell you, my favorite detail about this is the can of Mountain Dew and a can cozy behind the cake. So it's going to be a healthy evening for.
Well, that's your new 2-word challenge is wet Alf.
Oh, I got to work that into a college show without anybody noticing. Yes. Okay, work's cut out for me. But the shiny Alf was pretty good. Like, it was a good likeness of Alf. All right, I've got another visual thing. This popped up on Instagram recently. Somebody alerted me to this, and I'm a big fan of skateboarding culture. I was a skateboarder in my youth. And look at this. This is Steve Caballero. Somebody made a Alf Cab deck. So it has the Caballero logo to it, but it's Alf. And unfortunately, you see that by the time I saw this, the deck sold out in minutes. So unfortunately, yeah, that's the one that got away, because I would have had that deck hanging on my wall. I do have a couple skateboards on my wall. One of them is a vintage Alf skateboard, but not that one, unfortunately.
Well, all right, send one in, and
I hope so. I hope somebody sends me that Alf Caballero deck at some point.
Well, I hope I can buoy your spirits with an Alf tattoo.
If you've got a case of the Wednesday blues, just check out these Alf tattoos. Yeah.
All right, so this one is pretty large. This is, I assume that's somebody's back.
Oh yeah, that's a whole shoulder. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the text to the left of it is. I couldn't find any other shots of this, but
no.
Alf with a knife. Is that from something specific, or is that?
I don't think it is, but it's funny that you mentioned that. First of all, consider my spirits buoyed. That is I like it. It's subtle. It's a photorealistic style Alf, so there isn't much of a cartooniness to it, and it's got an edge to it, literally, with the Alf knife there. So.
Zing. And the hair has grown back. You can.
Yeah, you can see some of that peach fuzzy style hair there. Yep. That's good. I actually really like that Alf tattoo. But it's not. So here's why the elf knife rang familiar was that there is another. This is another Instagram video that somebody sent me, and it is a homemade elf mask / costume. And there was a photo and a video with it. So take a look. So right out of the gate, we got a dog, and look at this costume. This might be one of the best elf. They've made hands. They've made a homemade mask. And it looks like they're wearing, I can't tell what the shirt is. Oh, a WWE shirt. A leather jacket. And later you're going to see a knife in the video here. So let's watch the video. Kind of jealous of the apartment. There's a lot of robots, clowns. It looks like a kindred spirit. So then they... knife. Oh, and they have a Pee-wee in the back too. Wow. And then there you see more of the incredible work. I was blown away by this. Wow. I mean, that was, I want to give the person credit. It's Imaginarium Delirium 333 on Instagram. And I got to send them a message and let them know they're on featured on Elf Crap, but that's not crappy at all. That is an amazing piece of craftsmanship.
I thought it was at first I thought it was some sort of mashup of like Leprechaun and Alf. But I think at the end it's just an Alf homage, and it's very well done. But there was something very I don't know. Might be this the skin.
I think it's because it's sort of made out of fiberglass, or sort of the texture of it is kind of odd, but I think that's just part of the artistic take on it. But they got the moles, the eyes are great. Apparently they can see out of it. So many questions, but bravo. I tip my elf cap. Maybe that's a future guest on Willie's Garage.
And they can wear that.
I would hope so throughout the duration of the episode.
Yes.
So next week, the Tanners TV breaks, and they don't get it fixed, I guess, to teach Elf a lesson. And Elf reveals that there are 2 other planets in the solar system, and we'll reveal the names of those next week. But George, we have 3 episodes left of season 1. How are you feeling?
I can get through 3 more episodes. I know I can do this.
Home stretch. And
the Grandas are rallying for me. I appreciate that. I get lots of encouraging emails and messages and calls. I don't know how they got my number, but just people.
Well, I've been giving it out. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, until next week, bite, win, everybody.
Come crashing Willie's Garage.